Hey, let's talk about how to choose the best knowledge management software for your business in 2026. I'm tested a lot of tools in this space because I set up some knowledge-based tools for SiteChecker, B2B SaaS I work with, and also for my own agency. I wrote an article on on this topic on Medium, but I would like to share some of the top tools I like and features I like. First, let's divide all the tools into three categories. The first type is a tool that helps with the storage. You probably hear about Notion, Airtable, Confluence. They help to write guides. It works like your internal wiki. It's structured, searchable, scalable. And the problem they have, it's usually such guides are not adapted enough by your internal employees. And that's why there is a second type of knowledge-based tools, Tango or Scribe. They answer the question, does the knowledge actually get used? And they help to capture processes. They help to track whether your guides are completed by people, used, and help work with the apps faster. And the third type is the customer access. It's like the external knowledge base for customers, not employees. I believe it should be the separate category because some brands try to create one knowledge base for both employees and customers. But in most cases, this is a bad practice. You usually need both types. We will cover all of them. Let's start with the Tango because it's adoption and this is the biggest weaknesses of many knowledge bases. Let's start with the tool that have to fit. I've tested Tango, for example, for my created guides and how to work with my Looker Studio templates. And the biggest value when you create the guide, it's enough just to do the things you want. Let's show you an example. It's enough to do the stuff in your app. Tango will automatically capture the process. You will able to share it with your employees. Let's see an example. Yeah, so capture started. For example, I want to show how to copy my template. Yeah, and I just do the steps anybody has to do. Make a copy. Here I have to choose the data source. I choose Google Analytics, and you see every step I do automatically turn into the step with screenshot. And yeah, once I finish, yeah, I can create. Yeah, after that, I will be able to edit this guide, to share it with my team, and more important that everybody from my team will be able to use the feature called guide. Yeah, here's an you see this automatically created title, and I also quickly fix the descriptions, add some comments to this, etc., etc. Yeah, but top feature is a guide me, and this because I share the link to my employee. He or she clicks guide me. They visit this template, Tango, highlight the feature they have to click. So it fixes the problem when you, like previously, the person had to use the first one, like the guide leaves, like Google Doc or Confluence or so on, and there is text and screenshot, and the guide, another tab is the app which he or she works. And in this case, everything happens exactly in the app because Tango helps to highlight each. So I click here, yeah, click on make copy, yeah, copy. It also highlights everything. So even for difficult guys, it helps to execute a specific process much faster, and is especially valuable when you work with the complex apps, but a lot of parameters, dimensions, a lot of possible ways to do something. So this one thing I like. Then the great feature like sharing the export. So what's valuable here? You can embed it into your knowledge bases that use for storage, Confluence, Notion, etc. Then you can turn it into the video, yeah, and you can pin it at the specific guide inside the app, like some tool that shows if you have some difficulties in this space, you can click on this and we will show you how to execute it. And you also can export it to the PDF or something like that. So this is easy, and yeah, the more people you have in your team, the more value you will get from that because they will ask you less questions, they will adapt your tools and processes faster, yeah, and it actually will fix a lot of problems with the aesthetic documentation, yeah. So this is Tango. The another one, it's actually, I would say, Google Docs. Yeah, I don't know why people don't talk about them enough when they mention knowledge-based tools, but Google Docs, this is the first tool that businesses should start with. The problem with them, that like the big value of them, that it's already, I would say, has a high adoption because almost everybody work with this, and this interface is known to everybody. The problem again with the structure and with using it for the adoption, like where the Tango helps. Yeah, so it's the value of Google Docs is that it's free, it's popular, but the problem, if you have a big team and you want to scale it and you want to more structure, it's better to try, I would say, Notion or Confluence. Yeah. As for Notion, I like that it's the biggest value for me that this is more interactive. Yeah, it's my great guide in Notion instead of Google Docs. I can like structure my guide with more images, videos in a better way, and I also can create some structure here with documents and so on. So this, I would say, this is the next level after the Google Docs, and even higher level for bigger enterprises, bigger companies is the Confluence, especially for businesses that already live in the Atlassian ecospace. Then let's talk a little bit about the Airtable, because I'm using this knowledge this management tool a lot, and as for me, it looks like it's often called Google Sheets on steroids. Yeah, and it's partially true. And sometimes I often ask myself, why do I use Airtable, not Google Sheets? And the answer usually that I just like how easy it is to format the content, easy it is to connect sheets between, easy it is to divide, create different type of views based on the existing data using like filters, grouping, etc. For example, I can group all my social media posts by goal, and it's all by months when I publish them, or by any other status. So right now I'm using Airtable almost for every project I work with. Yeah, and it's like highly recommended. I know many agencies that run basically on the Airtable. So yeah, but again, it's a little bit more complex than Google Docs and Notion. You have some learning curve, and for your, if you want to like train your team how to work with it, it's also like takes some time. And then let's go to the type of knowledge bases that works like for external knowledge bases for your customers and potential customers. Yeah, and I've tested like 3 popular tools in this space: Help Scout, Intercom, and Zendesk. I would say I can explain why we ended on SiteChecker with the Help Scout, just because this was much cheaper than Intercom, and it like has all features we needed. So we tested Intercom for some time, and the biggest value of this is that it has not just knowledge base, not just the ticketing system, but also the feature when you can run send emails or banners based on the some events people have done, or based on their statuses, parameters. For example, show some banner or send some email only to users who started a trial 3 months ago and so on. Yeah, it was a great thing, and it also helped to track the efficiency of different types of campaigns. The problem, it's really expensive because they charge for amount of users they enter into this funnel, and if you want to measure all your website visitors, not just sign-ups, it becomes expensive. Yeah, so we ended with the Help Scout, and it is like just good enough. For example, for SiteChecker Hub Center we manage here. Again, it's not as modern as much like nice UX etc. as Intercom has, but it works well. It also like has features that's enough for knowledge base for customers. And I also see many brands do this, and I also like that Help Scout like evolves and they add new features, etc. And it also can use the chat inside the app and so on. As for the Zendesk, I also try them. When I compare like these 3 tools, the biggest problem in the Zendesk, as for me, it just looks difficult. And also, I remember that it was like difficult to connect or expensive or connect knowledge-based ticket system chat inside the app and so on. Help Scout just looked much easier to manage and for me, so I choose Help Scout. But I guess that for bigger companies, then that's like it's just that obvious or one of the popular choices. So this is the tools I've used, which I like. If you know another tools, you can share them in comments under this video. I will be glad to review them, especially if there's some new tools, power tools and so on. Maybe something completely new in this space. Thank you for hearing this and subscribe to my channel.